what are you seeing? What's going on in IT? Look, take your observation space and your vision of what you see happening out there.
Well, it's very interesting. It's sort of there's sort of two worlds, right? There's the cloud world and the move to cloud, and there's the on-premises world where people run their systems on their own. And one of the things that we've learned is, when you talk about machine learning, obviously is something that's very popular these days, and automation. And so, in order to rely on machine learning well and have algorithms that are very effective, you need lots of data. And so, being a cloud vendor and having Linux in our cloud on tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of servers or more, um, allows us to have a view of how an operating system works across incredibly large scale. So we get lots of data. And so for us to figure out which algorithms work well in terms of how can we do network optimizations, how can we discover anomalies on the storage side and deal with it and so forth, we can do that at scale. And what's interesting is, how do we then bring that to on-prem? Well, if we can get the data and the learning done, the training done in our cloud directly, then when we provide that service also to people running Oracle Linux on premises, then that will work. The alternative is to have point solutions where you provide something to a customer and he needs to learn something from small amount of data. That doesn't work so well. So I think having both worlds, on-prem and cloud directly, allows us to kind of benefit from that. And that, I think that's important, because lots of customers are interested in going to cloud. Many of the enterprises have not yet. They're starting, but there's still a huge on-premises space that's important. And so by being able to get them familiar with how these things work at scale, autonomy is again important, right? Autonomous database is incredibly popular and so forth. That allows us to then say, here, try these things out here. It's a service. We can show you the benefits right away. And then as that improves, we bring that on to a certain extent on premises as well. And then they can have it in both places. And that I think is something, again, that's relatively unique, but also very important, is that we want to we want to provide services and product that act similarly on premises as well as in cloud, because at some point when people move, we want to make that transition seamless. And what you have today, for the most part, is one world that's on-prem, and then the cloud world is completely different. And that is a big barrier of moving. And so we want to reduce that. You can run the same operating system local as well as cloud. You can get the same functionality, and then that helps transition people over much.
Yeah.